bit of credit, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Bridge ATL. As you can see, the scenery is a little different, but we still rocking with y'all. Today we got some great topics. Can't wait to get into them. But first off, it's your guy, Tyler. Y'all already know who I am. And with me today we have Keisha.
Hey.
And we got Kel.
He forgot my name real quick. Like, he paused for a little bit. I don't know why, but it's okay. You know, we've been doing shows for a long time. It's all right, though. We're going to let it slide today. Wow, man.
Right. So anyway, Keisha, I know you said you got something you wanted to talk with us about on the show today. So, you know, I'm going to kick it over to you. What you got for us?
Yeah, you guys. Okay, so this has been, I think, a really big, to me, the foundation of what I think causes the most issues when it comes to dating. And I think that this causes the most issues simply for the fact that it's that gray area in dating where people are trying to figure out, they have their own delusions, they have their own visions, they have their own understanding of how someone feels, all that stuff. So I want to know, we're going to be talking about the friend zone and what that entails, the feelings that can be coming from the friend zone, all the different things. So I just really want to know. I want to kick it off by asking y'all the first question. Have y'all ever been put in the friend zone?
If a dude ain't never been put in the friend zone, you haven't really understood how to really navigate in a relationship in general. I think just with people on the social level, you know what I'm saying. And you might not have known that you got in friend zone, but you still have. So I'm not gonna say like, you know, if a dude is like, hey, I ain't never been friend zone, but you know, you probably don't even know you did, and you might have learned from it already. So. It's very important to get friend zones. One of them things like you have to go through in life in order to be better at something. It's like losing, right? You have to lose to win better or whatever. You feel me? So it's like one of the things. So yeah, I think every dude has been friend zone.
Okay. Every dude.
I think they have. I can't remember.
Yeah, I agree with Kel. I like to think of it as a rite of passage into the dating world. You gotta experience like trying to go after somebody and them kind of like pushing you off to really push you to be more, learn how to be the right type of aggressive. Because I think with like friend zoning, it teaches you how to like not over pursue in certain situations or how to not under pursue. Sometimes when you first get into like talking to women, sometimes you'll go real hard and you might turn them off with like the overbearingness or you might go in real like quiet, real calm, real chill, come in, trying to be friends with them. And the next thing you know, she doesn't want to move past friends with you because you're such a good friend.
Right.
She doesn't want to ruin her friendship with you, and a friendship with you is so fun. And she just can't see you that way. So, you know, friend zoning definitely teaches you where you can find that like that balance, that in the middle balance, right? So I definitely, I have been friend zoned to answer your question, and I think everybody at some point has been friend zoned.
That's fair. I feel like that's fair because, like you said, it's a rite of passage. It's the understanding that, you know what, like if you're not dating enough, then you probably haven't gotten friend zoned. You know, so that's to your point as well. Like if you haven't lived enough, if you've never lost anything or if you've never had an experience that may have been devastating, you don't really know. You haven't been living enough. So I completely agree with that, and that's fair. That's completely fair. So then I want to know, have you ever put someone in the friend zone? Like, is there any type of reason that you may have, I guess, decided like, I'm going to put this person in the friend zone? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I think, like I said, I think it's different from dudes. It's like, I guess when it comes to anybody, I mean, you want to be around people that you can like learn something from or benefit in some kind of way. Like you don't want no leeches or anything like that. You don't want anybody who's not really helping you or you're helping them or whatever. Some kind of symbiotic relationship with anybody, whether it's your friends or whatever. So with a female, like, I mean, there'll be times where a girl be like, yeah, I'm really, you know, digging your vibe, whatever. And you're like, nah, I ain't really, you know what I'm saying, feeling her that way. So I think, yeah, I mean, I guess so, but it depends, right? Like you might kick it with her. I don't think I would. Me personally, I don't know. if I don't like you, like if you come at me and you think I'm attractive, whatever, and you know we're not really vibing, I don't think I'm gonna really be like, yeah, let's go kick it somewhere, let's go to the bar. Like I'm not gonna string you around. That's just me though. But y'all might do that a lot though.
Y'all?
Yeah,
Oh,
y'all
Lord.
might, that may be, you know, some of y'all, that's y'all MO, you know what I'm saying, 100. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you know, but like I said, it's different for men and women, so, you know.
Yeah, I agree with Kel.
Back into it.
I think the term friend zone is really more so for a dude trying to get at a girl than a girl trying to get at a dude.
Yes, yeah.
Because it doesn't really work the same, the opposite direction. Because I think at the end of the day, men are trying to get some, right? Like we're trying to get some, however it may come to us. We may not even think we're trying to get some, but as soon as it's presented, it's like, I don't even got my plate out, but if you put something down in front of me that I need a plate for, I'm gonna pull my plate out. So it's like, for men, we're not we're not turning down a woman and being friends with her still. If we're gonna turn down a woman, we're gonna turn her down, and that's kind of it. Like, if a woman's coming at me and she's trying to, you know, give me some, and I don't want it from her, I'm gonna tell her no, and that's that. Like, I'm moving on. I'm not gonna say, oh, well, I think you're a great person. I think we should hang out. Let's go have dinner. I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna tell it straight, plain, point, simple. I'm good. Like, I don't want anything to do with you on that level, and that's it. So I don't think the friend zone thing kind of really applies to us. Really, we got to flip the question back on you. Have you friend zoned somebody?
Well, okay, I will get into that, but I will say when I had posted this on my story to find out from people like have they ever friend zoned, there were quite a few guys that actually responded to me because I didn't think that they were going to. I thought, like how you said, I thought this was a woman thing. I thought that women were the only one controlling the friend zone and who's in it and who's out of it in their own life, of course. But come to find out, like, you know, there were men who actually responded and told me reasons why they friend zone people. We'll get into those responses soon, but to answer your question, yes, I have friend zoned someone. I feel like
Someone?
someone. No, not one person. I mean, many people. Okay.
Yeah. I gotta clarify that, you know what I mean?
I have friend zoned people. Yes, I have. I mean, if you haven't dated enough, then you've never friend zoned or you've never been friend zoned, if that makes sense.
So have you been friend zoned?
Yes, and I am glad for it too. I'll get into that. I will get into that because I was going to answer that question next. I have been friend zoned, but to God be the glory, I was friend zoned. I'm very happy about that.
You happy about being friend zone?
Yes, because the reason why I said I was happy about being friend zoned is because I was friend zoned for not putting out, like not having sex with someone.
Oh.
And so, yeah, so to me, I was like, well, I'd rather be friend zoned for not having sex with you because that's my own choice. Because I feel like if I did take the step to go and have sex with them, they would have friend zoned me either way, if that makes sense. Like to me, I look at it like if you were only after the sex and you were able to friend zone me because you're not getting sex, that makes me think that you probably would have friend zoned me if you got sex. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Makes sense.
To me, I'm like, if you are not getting sex, I feel like you should just be like, okay, well, you know, you guys correct me, let me know, because you guys are guys.
I don't
but
know. I mean,
like, let me know. Like, if,
I do have a follow-up question to this.
I'm not gonna lie and sit here and be like, oh yeah, I stopped dealing with this girl. Well, even though she let me get some early, I probably did a lot more with her otherwise if she didn't. I ain't gonna lie. Like I probably like really took her more serious because she felt that she can get me. You know what I'm saying? She didn't yet. So I was like, okay.
So
cool.
you felt like you could move forward with her because she moved faster than most.
Yeah.
But we just.
But see, look, this is a personal thing.
I was about to say that's not a
this
an
is not a-
everybody
yeah,
kind of
this is
thing.
not a-
Like there's some dudes who's
because-
like as soon as they
Okay.
get it, out.
Okay.
Yeah,
got
you know what I
it,
mean?
got
But
it.
like, you know, with me, it's like I had a perception about her, so I felt like she trusted me enough to do that. So I was like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? So I felt like I had a responsibility to be like, okay, she let me, you know, do that. I'm gonna be a good dude to her and be like, okay, I'm gonna, respects you a little bit more and all that. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It's a very special thing too, though, because it's not for not every girl would get that kind of. It was how she presented herself.
So it seems to me you already had your mind kind of made up even before sex happened. Am I understanding?
It was like
that?
a surprise, like, oh, okay, I can't believe she let me get in.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So you've already had some type of like respect or decision that you already made.
Yeah, I was gonna do the, little, what is it? We talked about it a long time ago, 3 months or whatever.
Oh yeah, the little 3-month period.
Oh, you were gonna do the 3-month period.
I would have did her.
Also,
like,
what?
shit.
I never heard that before. So you as a man, you were gonna decide to do a 90-day trial.
Hell yeah, for sure. But she was like, let's get it. I said, bet. So,
I didn't know guys did that.
And that to me was like, oh shit. But not every girl can get that. Not every, depending on who she is, like you can tell like, oh, this kind of girl let me get it in the first week? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even gonna do the whole dance and all that. It's yeah.
So I do have to say with the whole concept of friend zone, right? For you, Keisha, when you turned him down, did he continue to try to hang out with you? Like, did y'all continue being friends, talking, doing all kinds of stuff? Or was it like once you turned him down, he just stopped talking to you? Or he gradually stopped talking to you?
No, it was still a pursue on his end. Okay, so let me rewind, because it's not just one guy this has happened with.
Right.
It's been multiple guys, and it's been different reactions, right? So some guys, it will be they'll still pursue, or they'll still hang around and still try to, I guess, change my mind. Yeah. And then there are the ones who they just kind of slowly fade away. And I'm like, okay. So I feel like it's a mix up. It's a toss up.
It's a dip in communication.
Yeah. So there are some where it's like and I communicate. Like I feel like me as a woman, I feel responsible for whoever I decide to enter into a relationship with, in the sense that I feel responsible for communicating my feelings. And I always say, like, if your feelings change, tell me. Like, if my feelings change, I'll tell you. And so I'm always clear about where I stand. And if I'm like, you know what, I don't want to move forward or something like that, I will say that. You know what I mean? I will communicate that, like, oh, I don't want to take the next step. Like, I really want to develop our friendship. You know what I mean? I will be very clear about that. Mm-hmm. And what happens after that is completely up to the person that is receiving what I'm saying.
Okay. That makes sense.
You get what I'm saying? So like,
yeah.
but I've never strung someone along, try to keep getting dates out of them, try to figure out like how much can I get from them. Like I've never done that. Like to me, I feel like that's just
kind of
rude.
like the essence of what the friend zone actually is.
Yeah.
The friend zone is, I'm gonna put you in a place where I'm gonna still get the benefits of what I want, but you aren't going to get what you're after. Because I've already told you, I've already drawn that line. And really, it's up to that other person to say, okay, well, they drew that line and said, we're not going any further than just friends. So they need to make the conscious decision to say, I'm not going to give you as much of my time.
Because, it's a mind game, right? Like, if you're a dumbass dude and she told you you're not getting nothing, your dumbass going to keep going around paying for her restaurant bill and all that, and y'all go out, that's kind of on you. At the same time, it's like, she's kind of diabolical for it. It's a shame on you because you're not smart enough to move on, and it's a shame on her for taking advantage, or him, or however you want to play it. It's a shame on both. It's shameful on both people's parts because you're taking advantage. Let me ask you a question. So, a dude you friends on, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all went out. Is he supposed to pay for the bill? The whole bill?
Yes. What do you mean? If we went out, is he supposed to pay for the whole bill?
So you tell a guy, you're talking to a guy.
You and your friend went out. A guy who wanted to be with you, but y'all friends though. He's still supposed to pay for the whole bill?
Usually guys do. Yeah. That's I don't understand your question. Like,
no, that's the question. It's just you go out, so y'all are friends now, right? Y'all aren't going any further than friends.
Yeah.
And y'all both decide, hey, let's go out to eat. Y'all go out to eat. He still has to pay. You expect him to pay? Is basically what he's saying. You're expecting him to pay?
It's not that I expect him to pay. He pays. He pays. I don't know. Like,
so you on the thing like the dude paid for the whole bill regardless, like no matter what y'all doing.
No, I'm saying okay, so this is what I'm saying. Like, if someone that I meet and I'm like, okay, like I like him, not like him, excuse me, that I'm like interested in getting to know them, and then like they invite me to go out on a date, we go out on a date, and then I don't like necessarily that I feel like, oh, I want to pursue a relationship with
There's
this
no
person.
spark.
There's no spark, sure. There's no spark. And so I'll say, okay, I'll fall back, I'll communicate, you know, whatever. And then if we go out again on a date, like it's not even a date. If we go out again to eat, yes, he's paying. Like I don't really see why he wouldn't. I don't know.
So if you went out, this is an out there question. You went out to eat with a friend who happened to be gay. Do you expect him to pay?
No, that's like my girlfriend. Then we split it.
So this is the concept that we're trying to get at, is that because you're treating him like a girlfriend, and he's a girlfriend, he's a friend at that point. There's no romantic.
No. I understand exactly what you're saying. I think that's why the difference is there's this universal understanding is like, this guy had no intention, the gay guy had no intention, my gay friend has no intention on ever trying to be with me, right? And so I think that when the guy who I have friend zoned, that we've gone out again, the chances are he's probably asked me, like, do you want to go grab something to eat? You want to go to dinner? That's more than likely that is how that conversation went. Rather than if I go out with one of my gay friends, I'm like, bitch, what you doing? Let's go out to eat. Like, or like they say, like, bitch, what you doing? Go out to eat. The understanding is like, oh, like I'm going out with a girlfriend. So I think that's the difference. Why I'm like, let me clear that up.
So
It's the stream.
So
That's
so
not the
look.
stream. I've already explained
So look,
myself.
let me say it
and
like
they
this.
want to now hang out with me.
No. Let me
I
say it like this. Let me
understand.
say it like this. So this is where the shame part comes into it, right? So when a woman says, "I don't want anything to do with you past this level," and you still entertain them, right? You still like, he hits you up and he's like, "Oh well, okay, I respect that. Whatever. Would you like to go out, hang out, do whatever?" And that continues to happen. You know, that's where the stringing.
That's the string.
That's the stringing along part. That's where it becomes a shame, because in the back of his head, he's like, well, she didn't completely quit me cold turkey, so I still got a chance. This is how it works for us. This is where our line of logic comes in, and it's like, I still have a chance. She didn't cold turkey tell me, I don't want to be around you, I don't want to hang out with you. Like, she told me she really valued me as a friend. So if she values me as a friend, I can still get in, because she still likes being around me. There's still aspects of me she likes. She just doesn't see me as that level yet.
If he paid for your bill and he paid for his, that would still let that nigga know, like, this is what we on.
So this is why I say, why is it a string rather than a delusional?
No, it
part
is.
on
It
his
is.
end?
It is.
Because here's the
It's
thing.
shame on both parts,
To
though.
me, this is the difference. The reason why I say it's not a string, from my perspective, is because I'm not the one bored, like, friend, what are you doing? Let's go grab dinner. I'm bored, or I have no men in my circle or my roster, and now I'm like, friend, let's go eat.
Well, in
like,
some
to me,
situations, that's how it works.
He's still
some
trying to get in, though. He's still trying to, you know what I'm
then
saying?
that's on him. And
But
that's
you know
what
that
I'm
too,
saying.
though.
No, let me clear it up. For the girls who are saying like, oh, I'm only gonna reach out to you because I'm bored, or because I have nobody on my roster, because nobody is treating me right, that's wrong. Like, that to me is like, no, that's wrong. I don't move like that. I operate like that. I'm like, no, like I try to be very ethical and, you know, respectful in my decision making, because I'm like, I don't want that returned to me personally. So that's why I'm like, the difference is he's more than likely the one who's like, let's go out to eat. Like, what you doing, friend? Like,
Right.
you're not saying friend, but like, what you doing? Like, let's go do something. You know what I mean? And so to me, I'm like, I don't see why that's the difference. Now, if I was reaching out to him and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, let's go eat. Because I'm literally invested in our friendship. If I'm like, let's go out to eat, if I reach out to him, then at that point, I will either say like, let's go 50-50, or the expectation is that we'll either go 50-50 or that he'll pay. Like,
So,
I think what it is that it's a respect thing at that point. I think that some guys understand, like, oh, if I'm with a friend that they really call a friend, like, she shouldn't have to pull out her wallet no matter what.
No,
Like,
and
I
that's
think
fine.
That's
That's
the difference.
fine.
It's
That's like, but
it's
that's
very clear.
That's a certain case. Like those situations are like more understood than not. I think how we look at it, right, is that, like I said, if she's allowing me to take her out still, if every time I hit you up and I'm like, yo, I want to take you to wherever, let's go to the steakhouse or something, and you're just like, yeah, let's do it. In my head, if I'm the dude in the friend zone, in my head, I'm like, okay, well, she's going for it. She's still going for it.
Delusional.
She's still going for it.
Delusional.
But I mean, you're feeding into their delusion, though.
That's no fault of her
It
own.
would be the same instant. It would be the same. So then, if the roles were reversed, then the woman is delusional. If a woman was calling a dude and be like, "Let me take you out. Let me do this. Let me do that," and the dude is just like, "Yeah," but he's not trying to go anywhere with her.
Delusional.
No. So you don't feel like a shame on the man's part for constantly accepting those invites. It's like somebody's feeding you, and you know it's bad for. They're feeding you their last, and you know it's bad for them. But you're not caring about what they got going on. It's like, yeah, keep starving. I'm gonna eat because you're delusional. You get what I'm saying?
So I had a friend who's recently been going through something similar to this, where she's the one reaching out, and I'm telling her, like, you need to stop. Like, you need to, like, let this go. And he's saying, like, okay, yeah, let's go hang out. Let's go hang. Like, I tell her the same thing. Like, you tripping. Like, you need to leave him alone. Like, what are you doing? Like, he's not interested. It isn't, but she doesn't receive it. And at that point, if she doesn't receive it,
So you don't
I've
fault
done
the man
all
at
that
all.
I could do.
So you don't fault the man at all in this situation.
No, she lost her mind.
Oh, okay.
Just as he has lost
That's
his
respectable, but I mean, you're different,
I'm
though.
like, look, I don't see it as, I'm more so concerned about the guys. When I think of the predator men who are preying on women, and who are narcissists and who are trying to figure out how they can get the most out of giving little, like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's where my real concern comes in. But like, when I look at it and I'm like, if someone is willingly going into a circumstance and they don't want to listen, that's not on them. Like, that's not on the other person. That's on them. Like, you've been told, you see the signs. Like, this person is showing you that they don't want to be with you. This person's actions are that they don't care. They're not reaching out. To me, that's a sign. And that's why I'm like, no, you're delusional because you're allowing yourself to be strung along. No. No.
It's respectable. I mean, a lot of times in the situation, it's just both people are feeding into something that they shouldn't. Like, realistically speaking, both people should be adults enough to say, hey, I told you this, and I think you still think in the back of your head this is going on, so I can't talk to you anymore. Like, I think that would be the most respectable thing that most people would want, man or woman. If a woman is going after a guy and a guy straight up tells her, I don't want to talk to you, I'm not going to reach out, we're not doing anything else, and cuts her off cold turkey after she's been pursuing him, that's the most respectable thing. Same thing with a woman. If a woman is like, yeah, I enjoyed all of that, but I don't want to benefit off of the fact that you're giving me this, so I'm not talking to you anymore, cutting you off cold turkey.
It's like you seen the episode Fresh Prince when old girl, you know, Will was going to a prom, right? Old girl was very rich. She was buying him everything, motorcycles, clothes, all kinds of stuff.
You talking about Queen Latifah?
Nah, it was old girl shop at BMF, the moms, you know what I'm talking about, the light skin. She was on there. That was the girl.
Oh, I can't remember this episode.
Yeah, so she was giving him everything, right? Just so he can go with her to the prom. And he thought about it. He was like, you know what? I don't like this girl. She gave me everything I want. I'm taking everything from her, but you know what? I shouldn't do that. So I need to let her know. Let me cut it off. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no more gifts. I don't want nothing. You know, you good.
But what? Okay, see, I can't.
Now
recall.
he could have taken all that stuff, still did all that. You feel me? For the, you know, which is the same thing as going out and paying for, you know, a bill at the restaurant. You know, every day. It's the same thing.
But what I
so it's like, you know, you know it's wrong. Well, you might not. You know, it depends. But
you know what's going on.
The best thing to do, because their ulterior motive is, I can still get in. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
I think the thing is, be the bigger person.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Be the bigger person.
Look, it sucks now.
It sucks.
The reason why I don't like what you guys are saying is because you guys have started this conversation off kind of saying like, oh, the friend zone is determined by most women, right? Majority of the time, women are the ones determining.
No, it's
who's
a more
in
of
the
a
friend
woman.
zone, right?
It's more of a like a woman-dominated thing because men don't friend.
I mean,
If you did a poll,
it's
men
both
don't
sides.
friend
It's
zone
both sides.
as much.
It's both sides, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? They both
But-
friend zone. It just feels like men are more affected by it than women are. I would
So
say.
this is what I was trying to get at. You guys are making it seem as if women are the people who control the friend zone, who's in and out of the friend zone majority of the time. And so you're now saying that the people who are being friend zoned, that it's not their responsibility to not to stop. It's like you're making it the majority of the time, the woman's choice to be the one to say, I'm cutting this off. This is not going to happen anymore. I don't want to do this. Like I'm taking my, not I'm taking anything, but like I'm cutting this off. You guys are implying that majority of the time it's the woman who now needs to be the one saying, I'm cutting this off, rather than it being the man's responsibility for saying like, okay, you know what? I'm going to receive what she's saying, and I'm going to pause, and I'm going to stop, and I'm going to actively pursue someone who is showing me that they actually want to be with me. That to me is the difference. That's why I'm like,
Y'all
I can't.
hold the power. Y'all have more of a friend zone economy, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, that's true,
Yeah.
and it is true. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it is true. I was surprised that guys did respond, but yes, absolutely, more women did respond than there were men. But I feel like that's a cop out by saying like it's the person who's doing the friend zoning that should be the person who's stopping the other person from doing all of the niceties. Like why is it not the person who's doing the niceties that should have the self-control?
I think there is responsibility needed on both sides.
There's definitely
There
both
is
sides.
more responsibility needed on the person who's doing too much. Like, so the man who is pursuing too heavily, 75% responsibility. But the woman who is allowing it to keep happening, I say is a 25
It's both of y'all.
because
It's both of them.
you're feeding into it and you're going to keep letting them destroy themselves.
I'm not saying it's one person's fault. I'm just saying it's both of y'all.
There's
fault.
responsibility
Okay.
on both sides.
I think I understand why I feel the way I'm feeling. I think it's because of my mindset, which is
We're not blaming you.
No.
We're not blaming y'all.
No.
like-
I know. I'm saying I think it's because I'm within myself. I'm like, I'm the one who's communicated. I'm the person who, if I'm doing the friend zoning, I'm very clear about it, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to me, I'm thinking I have to step outside of myself in this moment and say, okay, you guys are more so speaking about the people who are not being clear about.
Yeah, no, you're very responsible.
I see what you're saying. Okay, that's fair.
No, we're not saying you.
No,
like when you
I
gave an
didn't say
answer,
me.
I said,
I
yeah,
didn't
you're
say
different.
me. I
You're
wasn't saying-
responsible.
I wasn't saying that
you're
you guys
you're
were-
gonna draw a line.
I was not saying that you guys are specifically pointing out at me. I was speaking in general, thinking like, okay, well, like if the person is communicating, then it's the person that's been responsible. But you guys are more so saying for the people or the women who are not communicating it, who are not being upfront, who are not letting it be known that they're the people who are wrong. They're the people who should take responsibility. They're the people who need to communicate. That's their
They
job
both
in that
need
spot.
to. They both
Okay.
need to communicate that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's let's go get so and so. You still not getting none. Type of shit. You feel me? So it's like
Because then if the friend zone kind of goes into the territory of how do you know you're being used? How do you determine if you're being used versus the friend zone, right? Because if somebody friend zones you,
are they really being friends?
are they, yeah, exactly. Are they trying to be your
the
friend or
friend do
are
that?
they only entertaining
You know what I'm
you
saying?
because they know you're going to cash out on them? You'll buy them whatever they want, take them wherever they want to go, feed them whatever they want to eat.
Facts.
Right? At the end of the day, you're responsible for you. Yes, I do agree with that. But however, anybody who is feeding into that, this conversation we want people to be better people in general, all around. We
100.
want men to be better people. We want women to be better people.
Absolutely.
We want everyone to be better people. And in order for everybody to be better people, you need to call out bad behavior. You can't enable it. You can't
Yeah.
keep it going. And I know a lot of people are gonna not like this in the comments, right? But it's just you have to take responsibility sometimes for other people.
On either
it sucks,
side, on either
but
side,
sometimes
like-
you have to take responsibility
Yeah,
for others in order for us to move forward. Is it gonna happen is it gonna happen? Probably not. But I do think more people should take responsibility for both sides. It's like even in situations where, and this is kind of out there, like when people cheat, right? If
Where are we going with this one?
if somebody is cheating, if somebody knows you're in a relationship and they still go to you to try and cheat, they need to take responsibility for the fact that they knew you were in a relationship. Granted, yeah, the person who was in the relationship is backsliding. They're responsible for their relationship, but you need to take some kind of accountability in the fact that you knew they were in a relationship and you continued to try and, like, you know, actively ruin that. That's never good, because there's never a good outcome from that. You don't want a person who's a cheater. I mean, if you do, then that's kind of crazy.
I'm gonna say right now, if I give somebody who cheating, I'm just clapping. It's never gonna be a long term nothing. You know what I'm saying? If I know you had a dude and I got with you, it's never gonna be long term ever. Like, how could I ever deal with somebody who did that? You know what I'm saying? So,
because you already showed me that you're not responsible enough to not engage in that. So it's like crazy. But it's a whole thing about responsibility, right? I'm just looking at responsibility. Friend zone, if more people were responsible with and like took certain accountability, we can stop it from happening as much.
basically, don't enable the delusion, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's delusional for a nigga to be buying you shit. You know what I'm saying? He like you know what he want to get. You feel me? So just stop dealing with that nigga altogether, unless you want to be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like real friends. Because I'm sorry. I like Tyler. We go out, bro. I'm not about to buy that man whole dinner every time we go out. Like, it's not happening. That's the homie. You feel me? So he about to buy his plate. I'm about to. Nah, for real.
Oh, snap.
I'm not buying this nigga. I'm not buying this nigga dinner every time we go out. Like, hey, yo, bro, you trying to go to so and so? That don't mean I'm about to buy this nigga dinner.
That's not how friendships
I'm not
work,
doing that.
right?
I'm not doing that shit.
I feel like a friendship is like you're equal, right? It's a give and take. Y'all are giving equally and taking equally. So, like, if you tell me we can only be friends, then I expect us to operate as friends.
Yeah, like, that's it. Like, so if I hit Shorty up and I know we on some friend shit, guess what? She buying her shit and I'm buying mine. You want more drinks? That's on you. I'm not buying that shit. Like, I just ask. Like, you trying to go out? If you ain't got it, hit me up. I ain't got it. Then maybe I'll be like, okay, I'll pay the whole thing. But I'm not about to. I'm sorry. Like,
this does make me think too. You have a point, right? You have a point you wanted to go over, or?
Go ahead.
Well, I have a question that's going to move to the next thing. So you
then,
go ahead
yes,
and give your point.
This was what I was going to say. Ooh, I drew a blank, but it was something along the lines of like, go ahead, ask your question.
It was that no Diddy line. You threw yourself off.
Oh man, I just kind of went off to a whole other train of thought there.
See, that happened, and now I done lost mine. It was
oh my God, that's so funny.
with the friend zone. It was do you? Dang.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, I do have another question though. In terms of like the friend zone's extended cousin is situationships. So like to me, when I think of
That's my favorite.
situationships,
I love those.
They are pretty
my
fun. I ain't gonna lie, they're pretty
Hey.
fun.
See, that to me is what I think you guys are talking about. The women should not enable the delusion. I feel like situationships, in general, typically.
Oh, yeah,
Look, we could do that all day.
A situationship is
Situationships
built on
usually-
delusion.
Built on delusion, but when I say situationships usually benefit the guy more than it does the woman. And so because of that, I feel like y'all are talking about friend zone that benefits the woman, and then situationships benefit the man.
Situationships do kind of benefit us more.
So what I'm trying to get at is, I feel like you guys are going to pick and choose when you guys think someone should be responsible for someone else's feelings, and now you guys are going to talk about how much you love situationships, and now you guys don't feel any need.
No. We can take accountability right now.
Responsible for any woman's feelings.
I'll tell you exactly what situationships are. It is a form of, and it's crazy, I know. It's kind of like prostitution. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh my God, I didn't know you were gonna go there with it.
You took it way out.
I mean, it's like, okay, look, I will give you all of this, whoop, whoop, but you know what I want at the end of the day. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Don't play with me. You know what time it is. Now, we ain't got to be together, but look, we can go here, go eat here. We can go kart riding, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Top Golf, we can go to so-and-so, whatever. But you know what I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you right now, if I don't get it, we're cutting all this shit off today. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I mean, or it might be some other shit where you just like my company and you just want my company at certain times and that's my payment for you to let me get in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on, we have an understanding of what we want in order to get what we want in the situationship without having to be in a relationship. That's what a situationship is to me. So that's how I see it.
I think situationships are built on delusion because people are lying to themselves about what they actually
That's
want.
it. There's no communication in the situationship, though.
If there's communication, then somebody has to be telling you what they want.
Yeah.
So then, then that you're allowing delusion if you're communicating. You get what I'm saying?
What you mean?
If you're in a situationship and your girl is like,
Who girl?
let's say you're in a.
Ain't no girl, no situationship. See, that's what I'm saying?
Okay, look.
What? Ain't no girl.
Your girl who not your girl but really is your girl. How about that?
No, that's not what it is.
That's how it works for them?
Who?
In a situationship, is it not your dude who's not your dude but is your dude? Is that not the terminology for it?
Yeah, that's exactly.
So it's the same thing for the women. It's your woman who is not your woman but is your woman. Y'all aren't, somebody's not saying, I want more than this.
That's the sneaky link. That's what you talking about?
Yeah, that's what a situationship is, basically.
Sneaky link,
well, no, sneaky link
is not a
is
situation.
understood.
There's two different
That's
things.
understood.
A
That's
sneaky
like,
link
same
is
shit to me.
I ain't supposed to be here, but I'm about to go be there.
I mean, if y'all
That's
not
a sneaky
together,
link.
he's
A
supposed to be there anyway.
situationship is you guys both go into it kind of somewhat developing feelings, but y'all both are like, we're
They don't make it official.
exclusively dating, but we're not together.
yeah, you don't make it official, right?
Exactly.
And
You
that's
don't
my
make it
thing. So
official.
if somebody in a situationship is communicating that they want to
That's
make
terrible.
it official,
Yeah, that ain't what I'm talking
and somebody's ignoring it, that's one thing, and that's messed up because
That's usually
somebody
what
is
happens.
somebody's messing. Well, I guess I don't know too many people who
That
I don't
what
know
I mean by
outside of
communicating
my
is
own experience
usually
with them.
someone develops feelings more than the other person,
Yeah.
and then they communicate those feelings, and then once they communicate
other
the
person's
feelings,
like, eh.
the other person is like, "Oh, we got a good thing going." The guy.
So then,
oh, we got a good thing
that's
going.
when accountability comes in.
Yes.
I will agree with you there. So if it shifts from what's understood is no longer understood, and somebody wants to make things more than what they were, and that other person is like, nah, we should keep it to how it was understood, then yeah, I agree. The person who's stringing up, then somebody's being strung along, the dude or the woman or whoever, right? If a woman told a guy, I want to be more than just the person you come over here and sleep with and whatever, like I want to be together. And the guy's just like, nah, I think we got it good. Like, I come over here, I see you like 3 times out the week. It's cool. Then it's messed up. It's pretty fucked up on his part, right? Like, I can't say that's okay. It's pretty fucked up.
I think it's levels with that because there's so many different ways you can do that.
But
right?
situationship is basically the male equivalent for
to
a friend zone.
female friend
Yeah.
zone. That's fair.
I'll
So-
give you that because men, like I said earlier, we can't help it. We're looking for sex. Like we can't help it. Like most of the time, we're looking for sex. It's a biological thing. Now, don't use that as an excuse for why you did some dumb shit. You can control your biology. So don't say I said that was an excuse. But still, biologically, like it's a thing. It's a man thing. We look for sex. That's why you see men go down. Like you see men date women that you're like, ugh, why did he go with her? Like that's why you see that more from men than you see from women. Because if a woman does it, then you're like, oh, he must, you automatically, or subconsciously,
Hey, he got
you're like,
that
oh, he
money.
got bread, or he got something going on. You don't immediately think, oh, he must be a nice guy, and she's dating him for his personality. No, if you see an Instagram model with some random dude who looked like he peed his pants in the 10th grade, you'll be like, what's going on here?
A 65-year-old Nigerian dude, you be like, okay, yeah, we know what.
Right, you see an old dude with a really young woman, you're like, oh yeah, I know what's up with this. Like, it's not a personality thing.
No.
And then when you see a dude with any woman varying from a 10 down to a 1, you're gonna be like, oh, that nigga freaky. he wanted to get it off.
Yeah.
But that's just how it works. And I think situationships make sense because men are getting the sex that they want without having to commit. And then a friend zone works for a woman because y'all are getting the
Benefits.
emotional side and the benefits and all of that you want, and it benefits y'all. Y'all like the emotional side of the relationship. We like the physical.
Because one is a little more someone is a little more in control of the circumstance, in other words. So that's why it's like a woman might be more in control of the friend zone, whereas the man might be more in control of the situationship, because he's determining whether or not he wants to be in the relationship with her, and she's determining whether or not she wants to continue to pursue a relationship with him. So those are the differences.
Pretty good. Y'all
We connected it. Yeah, look at that, bridging it right there.
We did. I remember what I was going to say now, because this was going to be something. So usually, like psychologically, there's something that does happen when you are developing feelings for someone. So I feel like the people who are in the friend zone and they don't want to get out of it, or they don't want to hear the other person saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to move forward. I think that that's the only reason why, for them to say like, oh, I feel responsible. Not responsible. I'm getting excited from still talking to this person. So they begin to develop this emotional connection or this need to talk to this person. I feel like that's when it no longer is about the person who's communicating, like, I want to be friends, because now it's about the person trying to get a hit or a fix off of the other person's space or their energy or whatever. So that's why I'm like, I think that there's a part of me that's like, how can it only be the person or the woman's responsibility to say like, no, like, I don't want to talk to you, when I think the other person is really truly benefiting from being around this person emotionally or
So I don't think it's only,
if that makes sense.
Like I said earlier, it's not just one person's responsibility. It's both people's.
Okay.
But there's more responsibility on the person who is doing it. Like, so as a guy, if I'm in the friend zone, it is my responsibility to say, I'm done with you. And stop feeding into my own delusion. It's mostly my responsibility. However, there is some share, like I said, 75-25. There's 25% responsibility on the girl to say, I see that you're destroying. And if you're really trying to be this person's friend, because the friend zone means you're supposed to be a friend. And if you're trying to be a good friend or a good person, you would tell them, I don't think we should be friends either because X, Y, Z. I see that you're spending your money on me. You just failed to pay rent. You just failed to do this. There's some dudes who are that deep in the friend zone that they will spend their last on a girl in the hopes that she will finally turn around and realize it. So that's where I look at it, right? The whole, let that person breathe. Like, tell that person you need to breathe. Like, I'm not good for you. I'm not a poison, but you're turning me into a poison in your head. And I don't want that kind of reaction, because typically when somebody gets brought through and we can get into the craziness of people, when somebody is brought that deep into the friend zone, you don't know how they're going to react.
Yeah.
To when they finally break.
Yeah, it's the same thing for situationships. That's what I'm saying. You see snaps, you see all of these.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Absolutely.
Because if you've been feeding into their delusion this entire time and they snap, yeah, they're crazy. But in the back of your head, you're going to be like, I could have got out of this by telling them no more.
Yeah,
I could have told them no. I could have told them I don't want to go out.
In other words, you think that if you do watch those like murder channel shows and stuff like that, that the person who may have been stringing the person along, that they could be responsible for their own demise. In other words, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like we did get somewhere today, and I love that. I feel very good about.
I wish I could remember my question.
It's okay.
I think it has something to do with with the friend zone. Like, what do you consider being a friend to somebody, and like how far does it go before you feel like that line is crossed? But we've kind of talked about that. So but I know you got Keish done said it. So
I do have Keish done said it, but I'm just going to go over some quick responses of what people said in terms of their reasons for friend zoning some people. Some people said bad breath or hygiene, so different things like that. Like, if you have some type of like odor, whatever, like that's a reason why they would put you in the friend zone.
This shit crazy. You musty.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be chronically musty, because like if it's like one day he smelled a little funny, and you like, oh, he in the friend zone, that's messed up.
I ain't gonna lie, she musty, bro. It's over with. Like the first time, it's over with. How you musty?
You wouldn't. So if she was like
the first time, especially, is what he's saying.
Yeah, like how the hell?
Oh, like the very first time.
Like a dude might have did this, but a female, like, why are you musty though?
Like if y'all went on a date. And he was musty?
He better not be musty either.
You talking about if y'all went on a date and they musty, or like when they approach you?
If I
well, you don't friend zone people off the approach. You friend zone them after.
Shit.
You can't friend zone them off the approach.
Okay.
Yeah, because then you guys don't have each other's number.
You don't have any. There's no need to be friends. You're just denying them straight up.
Hey, yeah, you can. I'm telling
What
you.
you gonna say? Nah, I don't want to mess with you, but here's my number. Let's hang out.
No, I'm saying like she might be wanting to try to do something still. I'm like, nah, you kind of musty though. Like it's kind of crazy.
Like off the approach.
Off the
She
approach.
approached you and she musty. You're not gonna just be like, nah, I'm good. She's gonna tell you what she wants, but you saying I'm
Might
good.
be a friend of mine, homegirl or some shit. I might see her all the time, and it's like, hey, you know what I mean? Like that's why I mean that's like a
But you're seeing them
like
constantly.
a drive-by friend zone.
But
you know
that's
what
like
I'm saying?
yeah. So it's not as deep as I don't think it's like a surface level.
But it's
friend
like,
zone.
nah, a girl must.
But what are-
That's crazy.
What you got?
Someone else said, like, even just the idea or thinking about putting someone in the friend zone is enough of a reason to put someone in the friend zone. So if the thought ever runs across your mind, they should be in the friend zone. Also, they make good friends but terrible partners. They don't have any type of accountability in terms of, being like whatever makes a good partner, but they may be a good friend. So I had to dig a little deeper into that, but there was no romantic compatibility, and so there may not have been that spark. Lack of communication. So someone said, like, basically, if you guys have been developing something and they start to slack on their communication, that will be a reason why you'd put them in the friend zone. You may not be sexually attracted to them also.
So that makes it ugly.
And then inconsistency is something else too.
Were these a mix of the men and the women ones?
Yes. Since we're kind of running out of time, I just wanted
I got
to
you. Well, we got plenty of time.
Well, I just wanted to just bring it all together. But,
But,
inconsistency, they suck in bed. That's another thing.
Well, they ain't friend zone if they suck in bed. They done made it there.
Well,
if you hit,
but-
it ain't the friend zone no more.
No, but you can friend zone someone after sex.
No, I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Still hit. What they say?
Still beat.
Still hit.
No, okay. So as a woman, if you meet a guy and the sex is bad, and then you're like, okay, like I don't want to date with them. This is a woman who said this, but you don't want to date them. Like you can just be like, okay, we'll just be cool, but we just will never have sex again.
That's cool.
Still beat.
What does that mean?
Still beat.
Like I said earlier in the show, we want sex. We get sex.
So in other
whether
words-
we get it one time or we get it 100 times, after we get it that once,
So I'm about to give you some real shit, like for real. So if a nigga hit and he's still consistent to how he was before he hit, that's a good dude, I think. If that's your vibe, right? Like if nothing changes, like matter of fact, if he does even better than what he did after he hit, that's a good dude. It might be a good dude for you.
Okay.
I'll say it like
That's
this.
one of those indicators. Is like, okay, I think that's a pretty good indicator. Is that if a guy,
So he starts to treat you progressively better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how you know it's a good dude. So I'll say it like this.
Well, that's not what we're talking about, but yes.
what I'm saying, like
No, I'll say it like this, right? And this is a point I didn't make that I meant to make earlier. The reason I don't think men friend zone as much is because we don't go after people who we wouldn't want to be like
Within the first
in
place.
the first place. Yeah, I don't think men just go out up to women and say, "I really want to be your friend."
But there are women who go up to men.
yeah,
Yeah, but
I
that's
know that. Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
know, facts.
that's because y'all are more invested in the emotional side of things.
Yeah.
We're invested in the physical. So as a man,
So if a woman walks up to you and said they want your number, then
well, you're putting the ball in our court.
right. And no. What I'm saying is, so if there was a woman who
Approaches a man.
approaches a man
Mm-hmm.
and says like, I want your number, and then you get their number, does that put you in a position to say like, I mean, you could be attracted to them or whatever, but like, does that put you in a position to be like, okay, I'd be the one to friend zone because they came up to me rather than me coming up to them?
Because the woman came up to the man can friend zone, is what you're saying?
Because you're saying the theory that you're kind of explaining is, what you're saying is that men don't usually friend zone because of the fact that
Of how the approach
they
works.
approach usually the
Yeah.
woman. So what I'm saying is, what if a woman was the one approaching the guy?
Can the guy then friend zone her?
Yes,
Yeah,
basically.
because she's approaching him. So now it's up to him. Now she's giving him the keys to the whole situation. So it's like, you came to me because you wanted to talk to me, and I don't really I don't really know too many women who just go up to a guy and are like, I want to be your friend.
I do.
Not be your friend.
You do? Like, just off the cuff, just like, hey, let's be friends.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's like
I just think it comes down to
it's
the
just like
approach.
the vibe. Like they might think you attractive, they might think whatever, but the vibe is mainly the
With
the
no
first thing.
knowledge of that person. Cold, like, never met him.
Oh no, not
Just
no
straight
shit like
up
that.
physical.
Nah, that's kind of well.
Because you can't really count like workplace or place like
Nah,
commonalities.
y'all are more likely to tell a nigga he fine. Like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all.
That's
say-
true. That's true. But what I'm talking about is like in a common, like I don't count. Like if we work together and I've worked with this woman for like 6 months and she comes up to me and says, hey, we should hang out. We've gotten to know each other at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
For her to even say
say that?
that.
Nah, they ain't gonna
I'm talking
do that.
about like straight approaching. We can't really grade it with like knowing somebody, having any knowledge, because then you have knowledge of that person and you know them past their looks.
Right.
It's the same thing for men. Like if you worked with a woman who at first you were just like, but you got to know her through work, and slowly because you got to know her, your attraction level to her went up because you're like, oh yeah, you kind of a solid one. You solid.
Yeah.
Like, let me let's hang out. I think we should hang out, kick it, whatever. So it's a little different in situations like that. But what I'm saying is, in just a straight up approaching
general,
thing.
yeah.
If a woman approached a man like we was out here walking on the sidewalk and somebody walk up to you, like a woman walk up to you, she's interested in you past just being your friend. I don't think she's just gonna say he looks like he would be a great friend and just run across the street like, hey, let me get your number, let's be friends.
Hi,
Like,
friend.
nah. So my original point was that when men with us, we're approaching because we want, it sounds bad, but we want something. Like we're approaching in our heads, we're like, oh yeah, I would like to be with this woman, like in whatever sense, right? Some men define that differently. Being with somebody could be having a relationship, having sex, whatever. So in the instance of that, where it's like there's no sexual compatibility, if the woman is the one friend zoning the man, right? The man technically got what he wanted. So her saying, I'm taking this away from you, if he a dude who don't really have motion and he ain't getting it like that, maybe it'll hurt him, but at the end of the day, it won't hurt him that as bad as it would have hurt him if he would have never got it in the first place. Mm-hmm. It's like a consolation prize. Imagine if you got in a competition and you didn't win.
So you
don't
tell
get
me
anything.
Y'all never like wanted to
No,
over one time.
No.
Like,
We'll want
I'm
to.
satisfied. I'm good.
But for it to really mess somebody up, it would have to be like some top tier sex. Like I mean, like he was like, "Yo, I need you morning, noon, and night" type shit, and then she cut it off from him after that. And then yeah, but like for us, we don't warm up to it like that. Like no dude is gonna immediate off of one time having sex be like, "You're I need you morning, noon, and night." If he is. He really like you. If he say something to that, he really like you. If he like,
Their throat goes. I ain't gonna lie.
oh man.
It's different, bro.
But that's something that like, but that means she gave it to you like really good. Like she was really good with it. Yeah. So in that situation, technically, she couldn't friend zone. Once you give him that, they've got. It's like you can't friend zone. Unless they've gotten nothing. If you give them something, then it's not the friend zone. He's kind of won. That's just how it works. This is the economics of the game, right?
So it only works if he's wanting her more after the first encounter.
Yeah, because like you want something that you can't have more than you want something that you've had before, but then they take it away from you. Unless it's like the best thing you ever got, chances are there was no skin off of his back for that one. He was just like,
Like, well, yeah, I'm only $7,000 in, but at least I got it.
Right, like I mean,
Like,
as long as
yeah.
you get it, yeah, that's just how we quantify it. I mean, that's just the physical is important to us, and if we can get that at least one time, some dudes are happy to just smell it, So
He ain't lying.
some dudes be like, bro, I got to smell it, so I was this close.
Like,
That's just how it goes.
crazy.
But yeah, y'all can't really. That's why I don't know if you've ever seen it. This is kind of off, but have you ever seen a woman saying, "Yeah, I let this dude sleep with me, but I ain't never mess with him again" or whatever on like social media or something? people are always like, but he still beat though, or he still hit, he still got it. Like, we quantify success in dating by,
At least once.
at least once, yeah.
Got it.
That's how we look at it. Y'all look at it differently. I see.
I mean, I never looked at it like anyway, to be honest. I never thought about it like that. So, okay, good to know. I never went into a deep dive of understanding, if you got it at least once, you won, or, or whatever. I don't know. I didn't think
It's
into it.
like I said, the goal.
But, okay.
The goal's right there. I want to at least sleep with this woman. If a man gets there, sometimes after sleeping with you, sometimes he moves that goal to like, I want to marry this woman. Or sometimes he's like, all right, give me back this goal. I'll see you later. That's how we're wired.
Wow. Look, we're going to get into Keish Done Said It. Okay, so this one is a little different. I just want to know what you guys think about this one. Okay, so it says, hi, Keisha, I have a dilemma that I'm hoping you guys can help me with. I'm a mother of 2 young children, and they are my world. Their father and I had a very loving and healthy relationship before he passed away 5 years ago from a car accident. This left me and my children devastated. It took me years and so many therapy sessions to work through my loss. I'm still grieving as I write, but have managed to learn how to live with the pain. A little background about me: I had my children very young with my high school sweetheart. He and I were living together and building up our careers and starting our family. I started my own nonprofit that helps youth learn the skills like sewing, knitting, and cooking. The goal is to keep their hands moving. I dedicated so much of my time to my children and the kids. It helped keep me busy and fulfilled. But I started to feel like I could possibly open my heart again about a year ago. I didn't start dating intentionally. It just kind of happened. I met a man at the grocery store, and he's been showing me that he's serious about me and my kids. Not long after, I met another man that is a father of one of the kids in my program. We've been hitting it off, but I feel like I'm stringing them along. They've been talking about commitment, but there's something inside of me that is afraid to love and lose again. So I've been dragging my feet. One provides the stability that I need from a man, and the other isn't able to as much, but with him, we have good chemistry. Man A has shown me from the beginning that he's serious and can provide the emotional and financial stability, and he doesn't have kids, but has done things to make sure that I know he's here for me and my babies. Man B has been lingering around for some time, as he's one of the fathers in my program, and it's been hot and cold since I vowed to never date a parent. We have the best chemistry between the two of us. I think I'm comparing them to my ex, who was perfect for me, but I also have that guilty feeling about dating. What do you advise I do? Should I just leave them alone, or should I move forward with? Who should I move forward with? Excuse me.
She had choices?
2 choices. It's one. Okay, so there's one guy who's the parent in her program.
Okay.
Then there's another guy she randomly met,
Out and about,
yes. So the guy that she met, that she was out and about, is the guy he's able to financially take care of her, and he's showing that he's present, and that he's okay with her having children and all this stuff. Then there's the other father in the program she's saying that they have the most chemistry between the two of them.
What kind of chemistry you talking about?
Like chemistry, like this person makes me feel like my best friend and stuff like that.
I guess, click.
Yeah.
I guess, like they click, but we don't know. That's it. That's all he has.
Yes.
It's just chemistry. So financially and all that stability, we don't know if he has that.
So from what I gathered when I'm talking to my friend, what I gathered was he's able to do enough for where he's at in life.
Where he's at?
Yes.
He ain't stacked like the other dude, basically. The other dude got money. He can do it.
Yeah.
This is an interesting situation. We can't really, I don't think we'll be able to tell you who you should go with.
Yeah.
I think that's a preference kind of thing. I think the only thing that you really need to think about is you and your kids. Mm-hmm. What do you think will work best for them? I don't know. Do we know how old her children are? Are they like on the older side, the younger side?
They're younger, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Especially on the younger side. I think because I can't even really speak. I can only somewhat speak from a little bit of experience, where it's like, as a guy talking to somebody with kids and you don't have any, there's not going to be any common ground there, right? And so figuring out if you're okay with somebody coming into your house and trying to take that role of a father for your children, especially considering how much you cared and loved your ex, your previous husband, it's going to be a milestone for sure. Just finding that happy balance, that ground, right? Because with him not having the experience with children, you don't really know how that's going to turn out. On the other hand, the other guy sounds more like this is a fun kind of thing. But like I said earlier, I would say think about you and your kids and what's best for you all as a unit together, because you don't want to bring somebody into your house who could potentially disrupt whatever flow of whatever you got, what you got going on. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough decision. That's a hard one, really. Because who's to tell you who you should be with? I don't really know.
It's basically like if you're looking for financial stability or
Someone.
real chemistry. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, if you're a single mother, the finances of the person you're gonna be dealing with is important, but it shouldn't be the end all be all. It really should be chemistry. Who's better with your kids? Who will be better with your kids? She's actually in a decent situation. I know, and it's bad to say, but her baby father is deceased. So the guy is not going to be, mind-wise, he's not going to come into it like, okay, I got to deal with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's more like, okay, I actually have a chance to really bond with his kids more, I guess, because, I could actually truly take that role now. Mm-hmm. It's not a competition anymore. So it's like, he's able to basically be the father that kid needs. He can be if that's what she wants. But yeah, like he said, this is a her thing. I don't know the dudes. I can't even determine it. It just depends. Like, what do you think is more important for you and your kids?
Yeah, I've definitely advised, like, what do you value? And that's going to be more of where you should lean towards. Like, if you're valuing that best friend feeling, or if you're valuing someone who is able to take care of you and your family, I'm like, that's kind of where I'm like, whichever one you value more is where I would say, go there. That's what I've told her. But I do think that it's tough, because even with myself, like, trying to, like, advise, like, it's hard, because it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, that could go either way, honestly. Like, either way could be so...
It could be good. Like, maybe the financially stable guy, and, he's good, at first, and maybe things could turn sour from him just not being ready to take care of someone else's kids that aren't technically his. You hear situations like that. Or maybe the father who has the chemistry is cool, but maybe you have to deal with, like, baby mama drama, or maybe he's not as ambitious, or he's, like, in a place where he can actually take care of you all. So yeah, there's a number of things it could be. It's really up in the air. Who's to say? Like I said, though, think about you and your kids.
Yeah, that's definitely, that's very true. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, which one would you do? Would you go for the A, financially more stable man, or B, would you go for someone who you feel is your best friend? Let us know. We are so interested and curious to know what you have to say. As always, we love hearing from you guys. We love being able to communicate with you guys in the comment section, showing the love from the likes, all that stuff. We are very, very happy. Sharing, we're happy. Let us know if there's anything that you guys want to hear from us. And you can find me on Instagram, Keish Dunsedit. That's KeishDonedidit. And let them know, guys, what you guys' handles are.
It's your boy Kells, EUE.KELLY. You can find me on IG. 100. Y'all know what it is.
You guys can follow me at new_Ty, and you can follow the production at Nostalgia Uni ENT, and you can follow this entire show, The Bridge ATL_.
Check us out on TikTok too.
Oh yeah, TikTok is going up. Yeah,
for sure. But yeah.
Thank y'all.
Peace.
Peace.